Hey there, YouTube friends, and welcome back to the Bikini Bottom Water Park, where today we are building some anchor arms in the Salty Spitoon. And we are putting all kinds of references in today. We're also going to be dressing up the imagination slides and making them feel a little more at home. If you are excited for the Bikini Bottom Water Park, stick around for more. I'm maskedbandit, and I am so glad you are here. Let's get going. Hey there everyone, apologies for the hiatus on the episodes here. Holidays and family were in town, and to be completely frank, motivation is starting to slow a little bit. I've been having pedal to the metal with Planet Coaster 2, basically since even before it came out, and just it's that time of year where things are getting busy and I'm running out of steam a little bit, but I'm going to keep trying to plug along, and I'm very excited to bring you an episode today. So let's show you what I've been working on. No time lapses today. We're going to go all real time kind of reviewing here. So here I have dressed up the Imagination Racers. That's their name now, and I have gone ahead and given them the proper cardboard box, as is referenced in the episode. We've also made this awesome sign, and this SpongeBob, oh my goodness, is not mine. It was made personally for me by my friend SP Ridley, prolific art shape Planet Coaster player, both Planet Coaster 1 and now in Planet Coaster 2. He's an awesome guy, and he volunteered to make me some SpongeBobs, and so I have some SpongeBobs over here. And with scaling, oh, they're just fantastic. He made them posable, so that is why he has his imagination hands all ready to go. Did some basic recoloring and just a little bit of detail here. Made sure that the box was tall enough to get in. And now I just think this is a bit of terrific. I really like how that turned out. And I really like how from the lagoon here, you can absolutely see SpongeBob poking over the front. I think that's just great. The next parts of the episode we're going to be filling out over here, and we're going to be building some racing slides, some dueling slides, and we're going to be building the Salty Spitoon, which is going to be a swim-up bar. But I will say they were difficult, and the slides especially, but I'll get into that once they are up on the screen. Another thing I'm starting to do is fill in all of these planters that we established in the last episode, as well as taking some advice. Someone on YouTube, it was either Josh or Leaf in the comments, mentioned that some of these buildings should probably be parts of a larger facade, and that is absolutely what I've done here. You can now see this is a much larger building, and we've even fitted it with some HVAC and things, and it's wonderful these are in the game. Fantastic. And then I just went ahead and did a big coral wall to hide the nastiness, and it is just tall enough, which I really enjoy. And then I've gone ahead and added some doors back here. We can add a bit of a backstage access here because this road will be a thing, and that'll make it really easy to get things in and out of the gift shop, and that would make a lot of sense to me. And we will do the same thing in this area, expanding this a little bit and adding access to the road here. Again, just to up that realism a little bit. But yeah, working on planters and sight lines and framing and things like that. Like I really think this has made such a big difference, as we talked about in the last episode. But let's press on and fill up this corner of the park. So I'm going to tell you right up front, I am not a slide guy, not even a little bit. I tried finding references for what I was attempting to do, and I didn't find them. And then, of course, as soon as I posted on Bronation, someone's like, oh, that reminds me of X, Y, and Z, and they post a picture, and I'm like, there it is. Mine are not going to be hyper-realistic. They're probably actually death traps, but you know what? I think it fits the mojo of the park, so we're going to stick with them. And they were just such a pain to build, I really don't want to rebuild them. But this is the beginning of our anchor arms, that episode of SpongeBob where he gets those inflatable arms. I think it's to impress Sandy, and he goes to the beach and he enters the muscle competition where he has to throw the giant anchor, and they end up exploding. Well, that's what this slide is supposed to represent. His arms just absolutely flailing. So that's what this slide is going to be. The yellow is the SpongeBob, and the pink is the arms. And we're not really worried about placement at this point, just trying to figure out how best to do this. It was really a struggle figuring out how to make this work. And again, still trying to wrap my head around how slides function. So let's go a little bit further and see it in a more completed state. You can see here's what I came up with. Yeah, it's a little, don't look too hard at it. It's a little steep. It's a little intense. It's probably a little bit over the top. In fact, if we were to ride this, how terrible would this be? We should absolutely see. Whoa, whoa. That is a violent slide. Not the best, but you know what? I think it looks cool. I don't know. Maybe I'll try and redo it, but it was so difficult to get this to work. I took so many tries trying to figure out how to make this function that I think we might be sticking with this for now. I think it looks cool. It looks scary, but I think it looks cool. So this is my slide. This is my anchor arms. We're going to be adding a sign and dressing the whole area up a little bit later. But then that brings me here to the Salty Spitoon, another reference to the show, a different episode, and actually this will bring about Weenie Hut Jr., something a bunch of you have been asking for. It will be in the park, but it will not be directly next to the Salty Spitoon, just so you all know. Don't worry, in the kiddie area, which is going to be themed to jellyfish fields, that's where we will have Weenie Hut Juniors, and we will go ahead and make the Salty Spitoon over here near the anchor arms. I think it just makes too much sense for me. So this is a basic rendition of what the one in the show looks like. Colors were a little hard to get because it's more like a watercolor. Like if you were to Google an image, it looks like it was painted with watercolor, which is something that's not really easy to do in the game. But made an art-shaped Salty Spitoon sign, added some additions to it. Tough guys only, because you got to be a tough guy to go to the Salty Spitoon. And what I decided to do at this point is like, well, it's here, and I think a slush restaurant inside, a slushy shop inside. I was like, well, it's here. We should really do something with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull it out of this area because I needed more room to work with. And we're going to try to dress it all up and add a bar on the back end here, including a swim-up portion of a bar. And we'll see how that looks. And I'm very excited for it. And I'll tell you, it was a bear. So this is the basic idea, and you'd be surprised how long this took to get. I learned a lot with how pools function and paths function and nodes using the editing tool for both pools and paths. Obviously very similar. But this was absolutely a challenge, and this is not the final product, but you can see I'm bringing you in here to see how we went about doing this. This outdoor bar will have some seating here, and then this step down area is for our workers to come in and service the swim up portion. And this little water part here is not like an actual placement. You can see we're in the middle of nowhere. I just needed some room to build. And this is our Salty Spitoon bar here. Shout out to some awesome workshop creations. So in this build, we have the kitchen props by Cridershot, and here is a look at what it looks like on the workshop with the share code and things like that. It is an amazing set. I used only the sink portion, but you can make some really detailed kitchen interiors with this set. Highly recommend it if you like the ultra detailed builds like I do. You should absolutely download this. Also found some amazing bar accessories by I Know How to Soup. And again, here's the information with the share code. Now we are using these draft pulls here, and I think they're just spectacular. And yeah, there's some awesome stuff in this set too. Again, if you are in the mood for highly detailed bar builds, you should download this. And then I also found a bar stool with a wooden pole by the Silver Sniffy. An amazing little bar, amazing little bar stool that we will be using a little bit later in the build, and it just looks fantastic. So if someone's already made something great little like this, why not borrow it and use it in your build? Thank you to you three workshop creators for making this build as awesome as it is. So you can see how I've implemented the workshop items that I downloaded. Here's the draft spigots, and here is that awesome refrigerator from the kitchen set. And now that I've got the basic shape, it's time to iron out all the details. We're actually going to change the roof, and we're going to put it in its place, and it's, well, I'm going to let you decide. So let's see what this looks like once it's all fleshed out and put in position. And it is a rainy day here at the Bikini Bottom Water Park. It has not rained for quite a while on the tropical map, so I think we're in for a bit of a monsoon. So we'll probably have rain in the next several episodes. But here are those awesome bar stools I mentioned earlier, and here you can see how I've dolled it all up. And you can't just dive into the water, but you could sit here and have yourself a drink. We can look on the inside here of how this all turned out. I changed out the rooftop to match with this dome because because I wanted something that was going to be a little easier to put in the covered area, and the dome made sense. So I swapped it. I swapped the corrugated roof with the aquatic roof pieces. I like them a lot. I think they add a nice little wackiness to the area, which is always good when dealing with a SpongeBob park. And then if we come into the water here, you'll see there are stools down here, and we can swim right up and we can get our bar stuff. Oh, there is another workshop item here that I want to draw your attention to that I did not mention earlier. I've also used Paragator's bar. And it has this awesome set here, this long shelf with bottles and cups and glasses and even like frozen drink machines. And it's really awesome. I've heavily modified it. I've cut it in half and I've shrunk it down quite a bit just to make it fit for my needs. But it is a fantastic asset. You should absolutely consider downloading. I've also gone ahead and thrown around a few picnic tables here where you can walk up to the bar, get your drink, and have a seat here and watch the people swim and watch the people try to kill themselves on the anchor arms. And this brings us to our final update of the episode here with these cool puddles on the ground. We've done a lot more work with our landscaping here. You can see we've taken care of that. We also have here our anchor arms sign. Now you can be a jerk too. If you remember the episode, there is that shark who's just an absolute jerk on the infomercial. And I've gone ahead and added the giant anchor that makes his arms explode. And I think here next to the Salty Spitoon with the planting and stuff, I think it really, really works. So very pleased with it. I think the sign is just enough. It is quite a hike to get to the platform, but that's okay. You'd only come this way to go on the slides anyway, but if you did want to come this way, we do have access here to our, like I said, to our swim-up bar. I need to incorporate this a little bit better. Not quite sure how I'm going to do that yet, but I'll figure it out. And then if we walk back this way, enjoying this awesome rainfall, and it's a little cloudy, I guess. We've added some rocks here to separate the area. The only way to get to it is to go around. And if I show you, if I push shift to run, there we go, there we are running. You can see that as you come this way and you come down, the Salty Spitoon is right there, not blocked. The slides aren't blocked, so he can draw you right into this area here. And I think that turned out quite lovely, and hopefully you agree. If you are loving the direction this park is going, do hit the like button. I am always reading your feedback and your suggestions, and I am excited to press forward. I think next is probably going to have to be a Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy slide complex. Maybe we'll do dueling raft slides. We don't have, or tube slides. We don't have anything like that where you have to have an inner tube, so that'd be kind of cool. Anyway, if you are just finding me, do consider subscribing and checking out the other Planet Coaster 2 content and other content on the channel. And like I said, like the video, comment down below. It helps us get to new viewers. And if that's something you think is important, I would really appreciate your help in that. So with all that being said, have a great day, great night, great whatever. And I will see all of you for the next episode of the Bikini Bottom Water Park. Take care, everyone, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Ja.